Here are the number of patients broken down into each individual age group. And the first thing you need to do is take that information and transfer it to relative frequencies. So what you're going to do is figure out the percentage of people that fit into each age group. And the math behind that is, first you want to add up all the people from the different age groups to see how many total patients there are altogether. And then you take that total, and for each age group you take the number of people in that age group. So 5 to 19 had this many people, and divide by the total number of people. And that gives you the relative frequency for that age group. And do that for each of the age groups. And you'll see your numbers here should all add up to 1. Sometimes you'll get something like 0.999 because you do have to round here to we're rounding to 3 decimal places. But in this case it adds up perfectly to 1. So those are your relative frequencies. Type those in. And now we're ready to make some histograms. So the first one's a frequency histogram. We're going to look at our frequency chart and just find the graph that corresponds to this chart. So the 5 to 19 bar should go up to about 1644. In this one it goes up over 3,000, so that's wrong. And this one it goes up to around 3,000, so that's wrong. This one is less than 2,000, so it could be 1644. This one looks better, you really can't tell between those two. So we're down between C and D now. Let's look at the next one. 20 to 34 should be 3302. So that looks like it could be right. This one's below 3,000 though. So C is our only option. It's going to be C. And let's just verify. 35 through 49 should be at 5.6. Yep, that looks about right. And 50 through 64 should be at 7107, and again it looks correct. So C would be your choice there. And then we want to do a relative frequency histogram. So we'd be looking at these numbers and doing the same thing, making sure the bars go up to the correct height. So the first one should go to 0.093, and this one's way too high, it's almost a 3. This one could be right, it's below 1. This one's above 1. And this one is again below 1. So we're down to B and D. Those are our only two options, B and D. And the 20 through 34 bar should go to 0.186. So we look at that. And this one, 0.1, it is above 0.1. So is this one. D's looking better, but they're both, you can't see the exact numbers there, so I'm going to keep going until we get a definite no for one of them. So 0.320, again D looks right on, but B here, that's not even above the 0.3, so B's definitely wrong, and D is our correct graph. You can verify the last bar goes to 0.401, and it does. What percentage of patients are between 35 and 39? Well, that's what our relative frequency tells us. So it's 0.320. We calculated that. You have the percentage of patients in all the age groups when you do this. So 35 through 49 was 0.320. So type that in. So 32% if you write it as a percent. And then the last question. What percentage of patients were 34 or younger? And I'll just refer back to my document here. 34 or younger would be all the people in here and also all the people in here. So you want to add those two together, 0.093 plus 0.186. And that'll come out to 0.279, which they want it as a percent, so you have 27.9%. Shift the decimal over 2 spots for a percent. And that's the question.